Alright, welcome back guys. It's another podcast. It's been 2 weeks I think since the last one. But today I'm very happy to be joined by Thorkell. Hello Thorkell.
Hello.
Bonjour we could say.
Yes, bonjour.
Yeah, exactly.
On va parler français très bien et anglais avec un accent dégueulasse.
Voilà, comme ça, comme ça. Yeah, so my French not as good as Thorkell's English, I'm afraid, so we're gonna have to do it in English. But yours is quite good. So we'll go there. We're going to be talking about last weekend's quarterfinals matches and also about the upcoming ones, the semifinals. It's going to be really good. We played on Tour Varos this weekend. Thorkell, you've been, for those who don't know it, you've been doing CBrivalsFR French channel almost the whole season, together with Nara, Akanopi, and Jax has been joining you as well, I think.
And matching sometime,
yeah.
captain of Nabitches.
Exactly, and also sometimes Quarto. So that's been a lot of fun. You've been doing an excellent job, I think, maybe even better than I have. So thank you for doing all that. So for those who don't know you, can you introduce yourself first?
I'm Thorkell from ThorkellTV. I'm a French streamer on Conqueror Blade, a new content creator since last month. So basically I play a glaive like someone with no brain, and I play with people who can carry me. So maybe next season I will go to Eden, I think. I will try to see the other side of the game, because I think it's important to, if you're streaming, if you want to explain the game to people and help people to improve their level in the game, you need to know the best level. And I'm clearly not at the best level because I'm playing chill, I guess used to say. So I will try to go Eden next season and try a little bit more of the game and use my brain.
Yeah,
that's all. You can find me on the ThorkellTV.
Yeah,
most of the time I play Conqueror Blade. I cast the CBrivalsFR on CBrivalsFR channel. And I think I've done CBrivalsFR the whole season, except 2 weeks I've done from Division Rustic. So I haven't done the CBrivalsFR channel. And that's all I get to say.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you've been doing a great job, CBrivalsFR, like I said, but also you're streaming very regularly, so I think everyone can follow you on the streams. Make sure to go there if you want. You're playing glaive, same as I guess. It's the best weapon, right?
Clearly not.
Oh,
I know it's not the best one, and I won't defend the glaive. Yeah, I think this season we got pretty good runs compared to last one, because last one season runs I couldn't use anyone because I don't play the spells they give us. So this season I'm pretty happy, but it's not the best class. We got too much prestige classes that can cancel everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only thing glaive got going for them is that in Feudal Division, top 3 MVP players, Sexy Kebab, Warfarfu, Nuko Strel, they are the players with the most MVPs. So glaive is doing something good.
Yes, he's doing something good, but I think you can get some like assist point on the game. You can get, because with the actual meta, I think the glaive is pretty good against Valkyries, against the Skalmos, because you can ult them and put them all down, and you can kill them with your units, and or people of the team will kill them. You can. I think this ult is very useful in the meta, actually, but I don't think it's top 3 classes. Yeah, I think Maul, Pike are above the rest of the classes, because Pike is very useful if you have like 2 or 3, because you can put everybody on the ground. But Maul is very good, and Pollax have a lot of control, and control is very important to engage. So
yeah, Pollax always seems to be a very strong weapon. Definitely true. Short Sword also came back. We didn't see it that much at the start of the season, but it definitely came back throughout the end of the season. So I expect to see more of it. Going to last weekend. Yeah, maybe. Going to last weekend in Thorkell, how did you enjoy the matches on Tour of Varos?
I think the matches were pretty good. People like Arcanap and Machin used to say that Tour of Varos is an attack-sided map and it's not very competitive. But as you can see, it was a different map, so we don't used to see it except in Siege map. So it's good, except for people playing the season and winning every season, but and it's not my case. I think the match were interesting, but this week was a little bit disappointing from because there were a lot of mistakes. that made the show a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You were happy to see some action, but after it was shocking against shocking.
Yeah, we'll go to that match.
Some
I
game
think.
it was we will shock the most and not we will play the best. But I think during the 2 next weeks it will be improve the level.
Yeah,
and there will be less mistakes because they will have the experiences for them who win, and you have to you will have they will see what other people have done even if they haven't played the map.
Yeah, absolutely. We could see that some teams hadn't scrimmed. They also, the team captains that I spoke to after the games and I did the interview with them, they also said that they didn't always have the most practice on the map, and they actually believe that if they played more, then maybe defense is favored on this map. But because they couldn't execute it well enough, like you said, we saw some very clear mistakes. We'll talk about the one at the very end of the weekend, because that was terrible to see. That was between Endgegner and Chocolate Goblin. Oh man. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, so, give us emotions.
Yeah, that was a lot of emotion for me, at least. Yeah.
Not on the good side, but there were still emotions.
Yeah, absolutely, there were emotions. Yeah, so just for those who don't know it, we'll just quickly give you the results. So warning, if you don't want to know the results, turn it off. But if you made it to the podcast, I'm pretty sure you want to know the results. So too bad for you. So let's see. So the result was this. It was 2-0 to 0. Yeah, Love and Devotion lost against Paella Old School.
Yes.
And then we also had Endgegner losing against Chocolate Goblin, also 2-0. So very interesting matches. Actually, I think we saw some great stuff, but like I said, also quite a few like mistakes made. Definitely true. So going to the first match then, Love and Devotion against Paella Old School. It's been a while maybe, but what do you remember from that game that stood out to you?
From the games, what I remember the most is that two teams have some problems in the strat sometimes, but the level of the players of Paella School, I think individual levels were higher, so they managed to close the gap and to win the two games. But Paella School is a pretty good team. They had very good players, but they made some mistakes in the strats that made us doubt about their level, but they're very, very strong. I know that they use to scrim some feudal teams, so they're training a lot, and I think they can do they can do way better than what they show us. For 11 Division, I think it's a top Division 2 team, and I think for the moment it will stay as a top 2 division team. I don't know a lot of the players because I used to spam a lot of the siege, and when I get destroyed by someone, I remember the name, or where they're bad, I remember the name. I remember not a lot of name of 11 Devotion from my part, and but they can do some stuff, but I think they will stay. It's a logic way that they stay in Division 2 Division. But they got a very good team play. But I think during these two games there are some choices in the strat and the call. We weren't the best things they show us this season.
Yeah,
because this season they made good stuff because they finished second and not third.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that's another interesting thing. So both matches, the third place teams went through to the semifinals. Second place teams actually lost the matches, so that's interesting as well. I agree. Like Love and Devotion, especially in the first game when they were defending, they weren't always on the same. Oh no, they were attacking. They weren't always on the same page. Like one front was engaging, the other front wasn't engaging, and then when one side had lost, the other side would engage. Stuff like this. It wasn't very coordinated. Yeah.
No, you're talking about the game. I remember what they done. And it's very sad because at the beginning of the attack on the final point, they got a very good position, and they decide to advance, but they keep their exo back. They don't really use them to open the gate. Maybe they could have thrown some Senji's grenades on the Forte or Fidel on the front, have killed them, and they can after go to down and have an opening of the gate. But I don't really understand why they go down, and when they go down, it wasn't
properly
very strong push. I think there is the problem of Love and Devotion during those games was there were some hesitation,
Yeah.
And if they were more confident of on the call and they will follow and be very aggressive, they can have clearly won the games.
Yep, absolutely.
Because the fact they go slow on the attack make they clearly go on the strat on pile of school. We get some cavalry on the for the respawn, so they were too slow, so they take all the cavalry in the head. So
Yep,
that was the mistakes.
yeah.
And the second time they go again on the top, I think, but they hesitate to use exo. I don't understand what they've done, but it was very good position. Paella leaves the top, which I think is a very good position in the map. And I think teams in defense, as we see in the second game, we have to defend this position.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so what I think was very interesting also in Love and Devotion game is that, for example, the Chevaliers at one point they charged, but the retinue wasn't in positions. Small mistakes like this, we could see them quite often from Love and Devotion, so Pelia definitely executing better. I like what Love and Devotion did though with the center tower. We could see teams really playing around that center tower, right, at the front of the final point. They were putting flamers inside the tower, both at the bottom and at the top, with like shield wall for Terracho behind it. And it was almost untakeable and for the attacker to get in there. And that as long as that position was held, you could see that the final point was really hard to cap, because teams would only engage through the left, and then you can use all the exotics, like you say, with the Zicalian, with the Jeffs, with the Shenji bombs. You can just like rain hell on the attacker, and it's really hard to get in there.
Yes, yeah. For the terror, what I don't understand is on the second game, we get Engineer. We try to take like a sandwich on the terror, but they lost a lot of the troops behind, and they don't even manage to take the terror, and that's why it was sad for Engineer, because Engineer is a very good team. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's true.
The calls were strange too.
Yeah, at one point, absolutely. Yeah, so that's the other match. So Endgegner, like you said, when Chocolate Goblin was actually playing really well on the defense, I have to say.
Yes,
Like,
Chocolate Goblin played very
yeah,
well.
they
Made they were at the real level, I think, because from the last matches they made some mistakes and maybe they underestimate the opponents. Like Adamant, they do try a tie against Adamant, who do tie against Golem Life, which was I think one of the worst team of the division. So clearly they weren't at their best level, but today it was pretty good. We will see if it's enough to beat Ayala Mermi, but I don't think. For my part, I think the top one will win the two matches, and I think Payloads could win against Chocolate Goblin for the third place.
Yeah,
that's my prognostic.
That's already jumping ahead, but yeah, I think I agree. Like, if I look at it right now, Chocolate Goblin looked pretty good, but we also know that Chocolate Goblin has been struggling to find scrims, find practice, because they're from NA, and NA doesn't have that many players, and so they can only scrim during the weekend, stuff like this. And Ali and Mamerby, they seemed really strong. Grum Faction also seemed quite strong. And they were stronger than Pally Old School during the season as well, so... yeah, Gum Faction definitely seems the favorite in that match as well, and then Paella seems like getting so much stronger. I agree with what you were saying. Like, they've been scrimming feudal teams for sure. You could see them always looking for scrims on the Discord as well. So I'm really surprised to see how much they've grown. Was expecting them to be strong because they were all veterans, Spanish veterans. So, but yeah, they've definitely been getting so much better. And again, top 3 is going to go to the feudal division. So 3 out of those 4 teams will be going to feudal, so who knows who's going to be. If we go to the Endgegner Chocolate Goblin game then, because oh man, that last game that we saw was awful. I mean, it was a really good game, right? Endgegner was doing really well on the defense. They were holding positions really well. The center tower that we talked about, the left gate, all of that, they were doing everything correctly, slowly getting like more units advantage. But then at one point they decided to do a really good chase inside the home point, but then they also went outside the home point, chasing to the B supply point, fighting on the bridge. Wink Hussars came in from Chocolate Goblin, and the fight was done. And then they went like 5 heroes down, Chocolate Goblin pushing for the end, Fortebraccio lock on the stairs, and that was it. It was Nuts how quickly that
this
went.
action was for the two teams. I think it was just what the fuck, because I don't understand, because for the first time, for the first moment of the action, Turkell Goblin managed to get very good VG, Valkyries, and I think Froschwer, Reapers, and in the tower, they kill everybody, and they stay in the tower like 20 seconds. We're seeing in the cast, oh, it's fine, they can keep the position for allies to go to the top and push all together.
Yep.
But after 20 seconds, from nowhere, they just saw, how to say, Fortebraccio, and they just go all out on the Fortebraccio, just not very smart, and after doing it, they decide to run away from the worst way, because you can be touched by Exo on the top and everybody.
Yep, absolutely.
They run away. The engineer reacts well. They chase them to kill. They kill most of their units, but they should have stopped at the door and go back. But no, they follow them, and because it's VG, Valkyries, and Reapers, they just use all the spell, and they clearly half lost the fight. And after it, everybody responds. So it's a
yeah, it
was choke,
mind blown. Yeah, big, really big choke.
It's for this game. We say it was not who plays the best. It was who choked the most, and this action was very sad, because Engineer, if they stop at the door, could have won the game, because I think they closed the gap. They take like 150 T5, and they gave back all their units, and he could have really have won, and we can have so end them on grassland. And I think Engineer would have really won the game. It was 50-50, I think, on grassland. I don't know if they got good strats, but
who knows?
I think they got all their luck.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Endganger probably has a little bit of experience on grasslands. I've seen them play on like a couple conquest maps, even like really big field battles where they did extremely well. So I know their captains are quite good at those kind of maps. But it was definitely sad to see Endganger lose the match like that, because you could see that they were pretty equal at that point, right? Both defending really well, but then they just threw it away.
For the part Baylor against Love Innovation, to be but I don't see a lot of innovation going on the feudal leagues at all.
Yeah, true.
So I think it's pretty fair for them to lose against Paella at school, even if Paella have made some mistakes on their positioning and all the stuff. But for Engineer, it's sad because they have been constant all the season, and they got a pretty good level. So she should have a chance to go on feudal, even if I don't see them win against Alamermi or Game Faction, but maybe get a tie on Grassland, you don't know. And I think they made a tie against Game Faction during the season. So if they made a tie again, they can go to Grassland, and Grassland, we never know, because there is not a lot of training.
Yeah, but absolutely. Anything can happen there. So yeah, I definitely do agree with that. Like, Endganger is one of the teams that probably maybe could have gone to Feudal Division. Love and Devotion seems to just not have that level yet. Belly Old School maybe. Chocolate Goblin, who knows if they can stick together, because they are struggling there.
Goblins depend on the player too, because they got some player from Vanguard. So the player, we don't know if they're in Vanguard or Chocolate Goblin. So if they take player from Vanguard, maybe for the next season they can be better and be in Div 1, but I prefer to get a big team from NA from Vanguard that splits the good players and getting mid-tier teams, so the competition will be less interesting.
Yeah, obviously it's better to have one really good team from NA probably, but who knows, we'll see. And then talking about the map, because I think it was really interesting to see Love and Devotion and Endganger. They didn't only try to defend the final point, but also try to defend inside the city. And I really like that. I'm curious what you think, but I really like that the teams try to like gain a small advantage around A, B, and C, and that is the defender, because I think you can use the city really well as a defender to make a trap, win one fight, gain a small advantage, and then go to the home point where it's really hard to get a big advantage as the attacker. It feels like. But at the same time, the A, B, and C point also are really wide, and the attacker, if they take their time, they can always rotate to one of the 3 points where the defender isn't. So it's kind of tricky, what do you think after having seen
I think
those
it's
matches?
difficult because as a defender, if you decide to not defend the last point, you can have some death. And the fact of defending the final point, it's you can have the respawn in like 20 seconds. So you can come back very fast and destroy the enemies because you have more troops in the fight because they have to go back and you just spawn back. To fight in A and B, as you say, is very wide, so you can't defend the 2 points. It's just impossible to because you just have to get how to say Dry Blade, GB. It's just finished.
Yeah, exactly. They can just get in there.
Take a fight on C on the point is just suicide because there is traps.
Yep.
As we can see, they try to take fights. To take one fight, maybe to put away one rotation of troops between the door and the supply. But it's very tricky because if you lose the supply, they get infinite ammunition.
Yep.
And you don't know which units they got. And if you take a wrong fight, you just lose some troops.
Yep.
It's have been tried because they maybe wants to have only 1 or 2 fights on the spawn. Because if you just lose troops, as you see in maybe one of the game, you can still have respawn fast on the spawn. So you have only 2 rotation of troops for each team. So it's interesting to use this strat. But it's tricky because I think in Secret Goblin, I'm not sure, they go on the right of the walls. And if they are just waiting for you behind the door, you can go on the right.
Yep, absolutely right.
And it's very not a good place to
yeah, true.
Because you can take all traps and people can use exo and destroy you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of the sad parts, and what Machin say a lot, because he's a good player and he knows the game because he's team captain.
Exactly.
He's way better than two of us.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the guys to brain as
well. It's side we don't say the Kalian munition. Coconuts because they use a lot of CNGs. Senji, but Senji make some damage instant damage and stun little time. But coconuts with the good lanes are way more dangerous, I think, because they can show all the ammunition and be more useful in some fights they take.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's because of the 100 how we say influence. We get 100 more. So we can take 2 legendaries and 1 purple.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
But
I do think
coconuts will be way better than Senji.
I think that we will be seeing more coconuts or Sikali ammunition over the next weekend, unless they get banned. Because if you want to hold the two Varos and you use Sikali from the top, that's like a huge advantage. You can almost do triple rotation, I think, with Sikali and ammo because the supply is so close. You can throw it all, make them run back, throw again, and then
if you take the top and you get like 2 Zikalian in attack, you can one-shot units.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
If you can one-shot units, some people will have no units with the time, so it's very interesting to take the better fight.
Yep, absolutely. Like very high value unit, I think, in these big team fights. Going to the other unit bans, we saw Falconetti being banned almost every single game.
Yes.
And then we also saw Fortebraccio banned, interesting. And then also we saw 2 Sifo bans, Sifenario and Flamers. And I think the Flamers made a big difference. That was like, you could really tell that if there were no Flamers in the match, the defense was a bit harder.
Yes, because for the say like you can defend the top with the tower, and to go inside the tower with Fortebraccio, Flame, and a wall.
Impossible.
You will have to suicide a lot of things to go it, so you don't want to take the fight, I think. And after the Fortebraccio ban, I don't see a lot of changement for the game, but maybe it's useful too for the tower. It's very strong against the cav, at least because it's the best on cav with the new doctrine.
Yeah, and also with the rotation stuff.
Broken, you can stop like 4 cavalry with only 1 unit.
Yeah.
But yes, C4 it wasn't very important because if C4 were banned during Paella House School attack, Shocklight Goblin couldn't have defend as they do. And I think that's why there is it's fine what we done to give 1 game for Gunfaction and Alien Mermy because you can see the strats from Shocklight Goblin and Paella House School, so they can manage to maybe make some bans against.
Yep.
and that means that if you're in the quarterfinals, you have to get 2 strats at least to do your games, because if they want, they can just cancel your game with a 1 ban.
Yep, absolutely.
But you can also, as Machin say, you can also master brain them, because you can do it on purpose. Maybe Shokai Goblin, I think, they can have another strat in defense.
If you're
maybe waiting for them to ban flames, because it would be the logic choice, but maybe it's a trap.
Who knows? They might have a special strategy prepared, but if they do, then that is very ballsy, because you would expect them to bring the best threat, because if you don't win the quarterfinal, then you won't even get to the semifinal. So that would take a lot of confidence to not show the best hand. But yeah, definitely interesting to see, and it is a fun system, and like you say, to see the first place team getting the advantage of watching the quarterfinal and then get to see them play. It could also be a disadvantage, because now the first place teams maybe don't have the experience playing on Tour of Varos map like the third place teams now have. So
yes, it's true that screen and world match are not the same thing. So it's a little advantage, but it's to them to scream if they want to win.
Yep, exactly right. You need to practice if you want to get better. So no doubt there. Yeah, it's been very good. So let's see, something else about the units. Oh yeah, that was the thing. So I'm not sure, I think it was Camaro we talked about, but it looks like the meta has really changed a lot. Camaro, team captain from Endgater. And he told us on the stream that he really likes the meta right now, because we got like Reapers beating Shields, winning against, what was it, or at least blocking really well. And then we have the Pikes beating Cav, of course beating the Shields and the infantry. So it kind of feels like a rock, paper, scissors system right now, which I think is really good. We saw a lot of different units as well, for a lot of exotics and range units. How do you feel about the current meta? Because we came from the Liao and Cav meta, and that wasn't pretty.
Yes, it wasn't pretty big. The Fortebrand show, I think, a little bit too strong against everything. But it's fine, they could stab the cavalry fine, because Liao were just an hell. But Valkyrie are strong in siege, usual siege, but as we can see, there was less Valkyrie in this game, because VG are still counter to them. If you're more VG, you destroy Valkyries.
Yeah, Valkyries are shield man, right?
Yes, it's shield maiden.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say it, because it's called like Scald Moss, and I don't call it
that's good.
I think it's good meta too, but let's see the next season what we will bring us, because today we got a trailer for the new season.
Yeah, it was very exciting.
They will bring us Carmel. I think it's in
English.
I think we're gonna see what they.
Dromedaris is what it's called in my language. I'm not sure if it's the same in English, but yeah, that will be very interesting. I'm kind of hoping for the camel or dromedary as a substitute for the calf. Would be insane to have one as a hero.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what will come to the game, but I think the new class will not change a lot for the tournament, because when you have a stack of IV player with Polax and on mod, you will do nothing with maybe light armor or even intermediate. So it won't be a problem for the tournament, but I want to see the new units impact on the meta, because they buff a lot of units, and I think there is some units that we don't see a lot. Like in one fight we see Epic Albard. I don't know.
The Halberdier Sergeants, they were played quite a bit as well. I think
in the beginning of the season, when we don't have the plus 100 influence, it will be interesting, because we have some at the beginning to protect some Falco. Maybe we will see it again at the beginning of the season, because we got 2 legendary and 1 purple if we got good stuff. But for the next season, it will change again, because we will not have the influence. So the meta will change, because maybe we will take 2 purple and 1 legendary, and it will be completely another game.
Yep, absolutely. And I think halberdier sergeants have been actually getting quite better as well. They've always had like the quick turn, they can obliterate heroes as well. And if you get a strong front line, they deal a lot of damage, like actually deal a lot of DPS.
Yes.
So they are a good unit for sure. Just not as good as Fortebraccio, but
yes, it shows that if you get a Valkyrie, if you get a Chin Maiden or VG, it would be get destroyed.
Yep.
But for the next season, maybe if we get to see if there is 2 legendary or 1 legendary and 2 purple units. Maybe some units of the purple one will be back, because I think Clément, I don't know, it's Clément too?
Yeah, Clément,
they are less important today because of Fortebraccio that clearly cancels them.
Yep, I agree.
It's an interesting unit to stop some Valkyrie and the Ringen girls, but today it's very hard to play them.
Yep, it is. And also another unit that we did see was archers, actually. I was surprised. We saw a unit of Imperial archers and also the Flamer archers, the Incendiary archers. Super Kito did a great video about the Incendiary archers, how fire resistance doesn't stop units from getting burned. So they will be stunned, even horses. So potentially interesting exotic unit to use. But yeah, the archers seem to get some attention sometimes in the tournament. We also saw longbows from Podguard, so...
But it's only like 1 or 2.
Yeah, always only 1.
Because you can take a lot of archers because your push will be no front,
will be trash.
It will be stupid. But where we see Imperial archers are very good against heroes.
Yeah, they obliterate heroes.
They do very big damage, so that's how they use them.
Yeah,
it's a good way. It's because we got plus 100 efficiency, but at the beginning of the season we see some blue archers sometimes also to snipe enemy exo on some maps, and it was not a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But onto Varos it's hard because your spawn is just under the traps. I don't know. Trebuchet too.
Yep, exactly.
Trebuchet are very strong on Varos too.
I agree. I do think though that maybe the archers could be used by the attacker if they get the frontal wall, because then if you put the archers there, you can see everything and you can snipe like the Shenji, the Scallion. That could be a way to use them efficiently. But I agree, it's pretty.
But hard. I think they will just be sniped by Senji or Coconuts, and they will be killed.
Yeah,
but maybe if you can use 1 or 2 archers, there is maybe a way. Only I think. You get less impact than with the Zicalian minute.
That's the thing. Because other units do it better.
Zicalian can set all the ammunition. They will destroy a full unit.
Yeah,
but with Archer, you can see your unit dying and you will just go out. Except if you want to snipe like Zicalian, I don't see how it will be very useful.
Yep.
Except killing heroes in the fight.
Exactly. And another thing that I really liked from Paelia's game is that whenever they saw stuff on the frontal wall from the attacker, they would go inside the center tower, like from the bottom. They would go in, go up, go on the wall, and again flank. They would always have a couple guys flanking when they were defending. That was really good to see, and I think that's a great strat as a defender. Like not just pushing from the front, but always trying to get behind.
It's a good thing to take them from the two sides because they can defend very well with Exo and just with the units, because they can't have two fronts efficiency.
Absolutely.
But one strange thing I saw the most is they love to go from the past from B supply. Because when you go from the past of B supply, if the defense is in place, they can just throw a lot of exo. As you can see, there is you get the outer. I don't know how to say. High.
There's height advantage
higher than the enemies. They can't
reach
you, and you can just throw some exo on them.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they pass a lot by this way, because I think it's interesting if you want, like you say, to go by the back of the tower, but all the defense got half of the defense on the tower and half of the defense at the bottom of the tower. So each time we saw people going this way, it was not synchronized. So it was very awful to see, because they were just being destroyed, the units free. And maybe I don't understand very well, but maybe if they really want to go by the front door, because I see each match there were like 2 or 3 guys just waiting to go front door. Maybe they can have more impact with the Killian and destroy the front door setup, because sometimes it's just one Fidel. One Fidel, and it's Fidel too for couple unit with shield and
yeah, the Imperial shield set is, yeah.
No, not Imperial shield, the one with Paladin, with Paladin with build up.
Oh, the Stalwarts.
The
big shields. Yeah,
this
yeah,
one,
the
there is
separate.
only one Stewart and one Forte and the door, and
Yep.
with just two or three throws of the Kalian, you can kill them and
Exactly.
go to the door,
Yeah.
and you don't have to commit and push, because all the time they start the push, they try to synchronize it, but the time they go down, they go at the bottom of the stairs, the other side is dead, so it wasn't very fine for the fight, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And
they don't go well.
I agree, and I also think that getting the center, like the center tower, seems to be the most important thing on this map if you want to get the final. I think, because if you have control of the center tower, then that also means the defender cannot, like if the defender has control of it, then they can always flank. But if the attacker has control of the central tower, then the defender can never flank, and that is really good for the attacker.
If you get the tower and you get the top, you get the advantage against the enemy.
Yeah.
If you get the tower in defense, it's an advantage because you can take the top because of the traps. But if you lose it, attackers can just set up on the top, use exo, kill some units and trade with the traps towards the door.
Yep.
And maybe opening the front door or the stuff like it. But
exactly.
I hope we will see it in the future. If
you
want to go to the front door, maybe they will just go all on the top. It's another
who knows?
position. I think it's good too. But
I agree, because one thing that we didn't really see, we only saw it once from Paella, is they at one point respawned all together on the right side on the C point, and then came in, and that was also their final push. That went really well. But it's really hard to get that position because it's very defender favorite, very small entrance, and then the stairs leading up to it, you can really easily defend that with like a unit 4 to Barcho, of course, and flamers. But if you have control as the attacker of that center wall, then it's really easy to remove the defenses there, because you can just throw the Zicalins and the Exotics, like you said. Then that's the only way for the attacker to probably get in on the right side. But the right side makes it very easy to push, because then you have the defenders only in front of you, and you cannot get flanked.
Yeah. So, and what we saw in one of the games, I don't remember which one, but when it's the last rotation of troops, they try to go from the B supply, and it's interesting because against them they don't have anymore a lot of exos, they only have some flames. So if you kill all the exos, there is no Zicalian, no Senges. This way is pretty good because you can just dive the flame and go and take the point. But it's before, I think it's very dangerous and you don't take good fights doing it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's so interesting to see. And another thing, so let's talk a little bit about next week's matches as well. So we saw Pally Old School playing quite aggressive, especially the Step Rose squad. I'm not sure if you've seen them in your siege, but I've seen them. They were playing very aggressive. We know Ali and Mamermi is a very aggressive team, is going to play Chocolate Goblin. Gum Function, I think, also quite an aggressive team typically. So you already said Ali Mamermi, Gum Faction probably favorites. What do you kind of expect to see with like bans maybe?
For the ban, I don't know. It's Ali Mamermi against Chocolate Goblin. Is it?
No.
So maybe Ali Mamermi will go to the ban of the flame for the attack because they saw what have been done. If we get one game with no Falco ban, it will be very strange for the defender, because if you defend against Falco, they take the top, you just lose.
Yeah, exactly.
And do nothing. So I think defender will always ban the Falco. And it's a good question. Maybe it could be interesting if you ban the Falco instant, because in Turul Varos there is no interest to get Falco. Maybe they can have other strats and more brain for the choose of the ban, because I don't see how the defenders can defend the map against Falco. So I think they will always ban the Falco.
Yeah, it's definitely happened in all 4 games so far. So we'll see. And I think also the ban that we have right now from the teams is Falconetti on the defense once again. So
yes, because you have no choice.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. Yeah.
You have no choice, so you don't really have any ban in defense because you have to ban the Falco. So maybe for the playoff, maybe you should have maybe done this and propose it to the teams, because it's fair, because they boss choose the ban in attack or defense. So
Yeah, sure, maybe. Well, yeah.
maybe for the last week it could be interesting to get the final more with more ban and more brain on it. But
who knows?
It could be a good thing.
Maybe it could have been.
So for the last season, I understand, but on this one, it's it's a little bit hard.
Yep, it is. We'll see. We always learn. We keep learning. I mean,
yes.
I think the banning of units is been so interesting. I would really like to get it in my ranked games as well. Like to be able to ban like a single unit would make the game so much different and more like diverse and entertaining. I think it would be so good. So absolutely. All right. Going back to just streaming, unless there's something else you want to talk about games, but Thorkell, I'm also really curious, like, what do you enjoy so much about the streaming and all of that?
I enjoy sharing with people watching the live and discuss about the game and learn about the game, because I haven't been in a good, when I say good, I haven't been the best host. So if you're not in Eden and you don't have people who try the game and look at the patch and look at which unit takes the best trade, it's difficult to know exactly how to play the game. You can have some tutorials and other stuff, but sometimes there is people from Eden saying to me, you have to play like it's your unit. Yes, because I just don't know how to play some units because I haven't played them before. And I think it's good to discuss even both for me and for them, because sometimes there's people who are new to the game, want to learn some stuff. I can say to them, you can go to this house in French because they are good. I think it's a good way to exchange, and I just enjoy to exchange with people and just discuss. Even if you just discuss telling your life, is fine.
Yeah, absolutely, totally chill.
Yes, just chill. I'm just chill and play video games and share with people, because some people can't play the games too. Because sometimes I get people who enjoy Conquer Blades but don't have the computer to play it. So
yeah, that's true.
And show them some gameplay.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
So I try to play
they can enjoy
at
it
least
through you.
At a good level to don't get some very bad gameplay, because I know I'm not the best entertainer because I'm beginning the stream. I began the stream at the beginning of February. I began with Conquer Blade. I installed the game and I begin streaming it.
Yeah.
So I'm improving with the time, but it's just an exchange between viewers and streamers. So
yeah, it's been pretty cool. I mean,
I love the experience. Right now, I have no work anymore. I finished my I got 8-month contract, so I finished it, and right now I don't have any more work, so I will focus on streaming a little bit, and after I will find a work when I will not have money anymore.
Yeah, exactly. When you're out of money and when Conqueror's Blade doesn't give you money, you just gotta make the best of it.
I don't do it for money, but
there's no way to really make money with Conqueror's Blade anyway right now.
Yes, so. That's the way. If I don't, if I were
unless you are my.games,
for money, I will not play Conqueror.
Only if your my.games are booming, you can make money out of Conqueror's Blade. But yeah.
Yes.
I guess that's right.
It's I should have asked to the content creator Discord, but I haven't asked it. But a lot of games like Rocket League do a percentage on the ducks or other stuff, Fortnite, stuff like it. So with just a creator code, so maybe they could do it too. And it would be way more interesting for content creators. Because if I just got preview and some code to share to the live, and that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's nice.
Because there were some issues with the creator code. I joined and I say, change the website where creator code don't work anymore. So.
Oh yeah, true. I noticed that as well. The link didn't work for me as well.
I'm content creator, but my creator name is ThorkellTV. But it's not working for the moment.
Oh yeah, that's sad. Yeah, they better fix that
don't
quickly.
Don't hesitate to come and sub on my channel.
Yeah, exactly. So for those who don't get to use your code, they should definitely go to the channels, follow, sub, whatever. Make sure to support you as well.
But the best point is just to come and say hi, and it will be enough.
Yeah, exactly. Just have fun with Thorkell.
Yeah, just have fun, share, and come do some games in Siege. If you speak French, come on my Discord, because I don't do vocals with stranger for the moment, because I'm doing a stream in French, but I answer to the question in the chat in English, but this stream will stay in French for people don't speaking English. It's not very good to which language they will be
Exactly. And I really enjoy it to see how much, like, the French community is one of the most active communities, I think, for Conquest Blade. We've got a couple teams that are French. We've got a couple streamers,
Yes.
like you included, in Arkanop as well. And the French also seem to be always very competitive. Same with the Turkish and the Polish. Those three, I think, are the most competitive,
Yes.
like, regions, for sure.
Yes, I think yes, the most competitive nations. I'm not in the highest level for the moment. I will try to go to Hill, and so I can't know. I cannot speak a lot about it because I'm not very legitimate because I've started in February, so I don't know all the history of the game. So
Yeah, I got
I'm
it.
just a new. I'm still a new in the game.
Exactly. Well, that's great.
I'm not an elder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's even better because then we already got so many veterans in this game. I think it's almost only veterans because whenever new players join, they seem to, for some reason, quit the game, maybe too soon or too early, because it can be a hard game if you don't know what you're doing. So it's great to have like someone like you who then only joined in February. It's now 6-7 months later, and then you're doing all of this, right? Playing with the best teams, casting the best teams, streaming as well. Becoming a better player at Conquest Blade. I mean, that's just really cool to see.
I'm trying to giving the boss view because for viewer, if they're just chilling on the game and playing with one hand and the screen off, they can still watch the screen and enjoy because I don't want to bash them because other players already do it, so I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I try to be watchable for people starting. People don't want to take a high level, and I'm trying to show that the highest level of the game is attainable. You can reach it with just looking at what we're doing and understanding it. So I'm trying to meet the two parts from the player.
Yeah, the new ones, the veterans,
and
get
the
someone.
tryharder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's good.
Because that's why I've been talking a lot with my channel. I cannot this season because last season I was casting on the Division 2 or 3 most of the time. But I understood why first division is better to give to Arcanap or Asteroid because they are playing on the teams, they know all the meta and all the stuff. So this season I try to interest me to it to be able to explain to people too. Because if you're speaking about meta but you're not playing the game or you're playing the game with archery during the siege,
it's very different.
Stuff, not very good. So
yeah, I agree. I mean,
I'm trying to be a little bit on the.
Yeah, you need to be on that level. Yeah, you need to at least try to understand the level that is like the highest division in Conquest Blade, and that's also what I like about CBRivals right now is that we can see it clearly now with this playoffs, the series as well, right? There is feudal division level, like the highest division, and there is a pretty big gap between them and the second division, Rustic division teams. And we could also get another gap with like really new teams, new players who maybe want to like create teams with friends, but we just play casually. Like maybe at some point we will grow the league into 3 separate divisions again, where we have like the really good teams, the experienced teams who just want to play competitive but not scrim for 5 days a week because that's a lot of scrims. And then you have the casual players as well who just want to play on Sunday just like they play TW and then
I think the way you've done this season were pretty good for my part because in Division 2 you get everything. So for some teams it's good to win sometimes because if you just lose every time because you're the worst team, it's not very fun.
Yep.
You will see some disband, I think, for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you always see that.
But it's the game. So if you get some new teams chilling against some teams like 11 Division, we get experience and they will win this one. And we will have new team with people we want to perform a lot. Like I think NSFW team. We have been created from a Temple Shot. I think on Division 2 next season they will destroy everybody.
Yeah, they are expected to.
So it will be very interesting to see it because if a team like Love and Division have made 2 seasons, if they lost 2-0 against a team like it's hard for them, but they will win against other teams because they still know how to play, they know how to play together, and they have a lot of experience.
Exactly. And
so I think what you've done with playoff is for first division 2 is really good.
Yeah, I like it as well, and I mean, it's also a good bridge to really see what teams can make it to the field division, and they also get more time to really practice well and stuff like this. So I think it's good. And also the feudal teams, like the amount of games they play, it's pretty insane. At least for the ones that are like top 5, top 6. So
I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Knowing that you're doing the playoff right now, and there's still 2 weeks of playoff, if I don't say.
Yep, semi-finals and then finals. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yes. So, when do you plan to start the new season?
Good question.
Because I think it will be very hard if you keep this kind of playoff to keep the same calendar as
yeah, absolutely.
as the game. Maybe you should push a little bit later, because it will be a good time for Division 2 teams to get some pause.
Yeah, they need to get a break, and I think all teams basically need a break. The past 3 seasons have been pretty intense. There have been so many games in like very few weeks. I think we had almost every single week. We had a game. So we're definitely going to start the next season later. I don't think we will start before like Christmas. So we're probably going to start somewhere January. Not confirmed yet, but we'll definitely start like later into the season, and then it might also overlap with like season 15. Who knows? Kind of depends on
maybe
how
you will
many
wait
teams
this
join.
season to start the new season.
No, we will start probably in the next season, so in season 14, but might be like halfway through.
Maybe after the feast.
Yeah, exactly. Probably after Christmas or like New Year's Eve, stuff like this.
Yeah.
And also during these months, like February, March, April, there's always so many holidays and stuff. So that's always.
Yes.
I need to take a good look at the calendar again and check out what weeks we need to get a break. So
Sure.
it's very likely that we won't be playing every single week in the next season. And I think that's also very healthy, because we see it now. Like some teams disband because they lose too many games, but they also lose games because players aren't available every single Sunday,
Yes.
and rightfully so, right? I mean, we all need a break sometimes. So
Clearly, I think to be ready for a match, you need to have at least 3 or 4 scrim on the map, at least 4. So it's very hard to keep the rhythm to do it all the same week. So
yep.
it's not very sane for the health, so you don't have any more life. So
yeah, exactly. You need to have another life outside of Conqueror's Blade as well.
Yes.
It is better in the end. So.
And another stuff which is good, if you don't start at the beginning of the season, that you don't have to wait for the people to get the
like the doctrines and stuff.
the ruins of the doctrine.
Yeah, and then that was one thing that was also kind of annoying. And also at the beginning of the season, we probably get another like blue start, right? The silver era start.
Lock maybe.
Yeah, so with the tier lock, you again don't really get to play all the units, so only the teams that scrim will actually have good preparations, which makes sense, but still.
Machine same is something, I don't know if it's true, if it will be what will be done. They say maybe in the territory you will have also your troops, and it will maybe only on the siege. So we're gonna see if it's true or not, because it's not official information.
Yeah,
I don't get any, so we're gonna see it.
Yeah,
it would be interesting, but it's true that you don't train with your T5 units. But if you don't put it on the calendar, we'll have some maybe we'll have the Sherlock of the next season, the season 15 during the tournament. So
yeah, that would be pretty nuts. Like during the last
maybe
round.
we have to do some break or something during the season for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if we get a forced break that's really long, we'll probably like organize some kind of small 8v8 tournament or something else, like where just random people or teams can just join in, and that would also be really fun. I think that's something that I really would like to do, just to also get a different vibe at one point. Would be fun. We'll see.
Yes, and if you the side of if you're doing several tournaments, I think if you're doing a tournament, you got an amount of rewards.
Yeah,
you can get. So if you do a small tournament, you get some reward too, because the biggest, at least if I can say, problem for the CBrivalsFR is that you have some the table for my.games or Brimming to give some rewards, and even if the tournament is like 7 weeks, you get not big rewards. So it's not very fair for you.
Yeah, it's like you get the same amount of rewards whether you organize a big or a small event, and that's
it's not very fair.
It is not fair. I mean, I do get a bit more, I think, than most tournaments, but I also have way more teams, right? Like I have 23 teams at the start of the season,
Yes.
and most events only have like 8 or maybe 12. So yeah.
Because sometimes you get tournaments, it's like one day, I think there is a deathmatch tournament, we get the same amount of reward as you.
Yep, exactly.
So if they could do adding the rewards because you have 7 weeks, could add the reward and have more. It would be more logic, but that's.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe when you're sending the tournament to my.games or Blooming, I don't know. You should send them week 1, week 2, week 3.
Yeah, exactly. Should make separate tournaments out of all of them.
Yes, and you give the reward at the end, and maybe they will accept it.
Yeah,
you should try.
You're right. I probably should try to say, all right, I got 7 tournaments this season, and it's every week.
I think it's how it's worth for this match. So
yeah, then
you just have to give rewards later.
Yeah, we'll have to change something here, but yeah, we'll see. It's definitely true. Like generally, you won't get rich playing tournaments for Conquest Blade. I mean, you're only getting in-game money anyway, so it's not like it's really important. But at the same time, you want to be rewarded in some way, and instead of just having to play for honor. Yeah.
There's another stuff. It could be interesting. I don't know if you already asked or if it's possible. It's I know in Frontier they got CBL that we don't have for future season, and on CBL you get skins of CBL skins or title. Maybe you could. I don't know if it's possible or not. If you can still force to get it. Exactly. But I think players will be more hyped to get a skin or a title for it than just 1,000 or 2,000
extra friends or whatever else. Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that I've been talking a lot with my.games, also with Quarto together, so about like the rewards, the system, everything else. So the things that we're discussing right now, I've already discussed those with them as well, at least most of them. Not about getting rewards for every single week, that would be amazing actually. Yes. But for example, there is a title for first, second, and third place for Field Division and Rustic. So that's something that people are getting. That's something. But then what I really would like to get is like an attire for CB Rivals where you get to pick like one headpiece, one armor piece, one glove piece, one boot piece. That would be amazing.
It will be hard because if you're asking it, they will have to dive something for you. So I think they will never do it. But there is already some CBR armor that has been done. It's already developed, but nobody can get it in Europe, and we will never be able to get it because it's from Frontier. And Frontier is not, for the moment, fused with us. I hope it will never happen because the connection will be awful.
but the quality might be better. Yeah, that's true. So,
but maybe you can ask for it because nobody can get it, so it could be a good reward too. Even if it's a past season skin with some change, it will be a unique skin and a unique title that's already in the game, so you will not ask for some development.
Yeah, exactly. It would be totally new. Yeah. So everyone who's listening to this podcast, go to Conquest Blade Discord and ask for attires and stuff for CB Rivals. That's what we need. Yeah.
I'm sure that's people will be more and more hyped to get the first place.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I would probably even compete if that were the price. Seriously. Yeah.
Because if you get Sovereign, it's like 20 euros. So
I mean, it's also worth a lot.
Yes, it's worth.
But I agree.
It's nothing. It's
not
very
unique.
good that they gave us rewards.
Exactly. So sovereigns are something you can buy, but the attire, if it's unique, that would be the best, right?
It's unique. So you can say I've won the CBR, and they will say, oh yeah.
You can be like, I'm the real champion. I'm the hero.
Yes. And when people will see you in the game, they will say, oh, what an armor! How can I get it? You can't. You're not a winner.
Yeah, exactly. You're not the champion. I am. Yeah, that would be amazing. All right. Anyway, let's close it out a little bit because we've been going for almost an hour now again, which is good. Is there anything else that pops up into your mind you want to talk about?
No, not yet. No.
Not yet. All right. If it does, then just let me know. But other than that, thank you so much for joining, Thorkell. It's been fun. We should do this more often, maybe. Also next season. Anything you want to say in French then?
Bonne soirée à tous, j'espère que vous avez passé un agréable podcast. Putain, je sais pas parler, je suis vraiment un connard. Et je vous souhaite à tous une bonne journée. Allez. Et désolé pour l'accent dégueulasse. I say sorry for the awful accent.
Yeah, that's so good. I
hope English people could understand me. And if you don't understand me, don't hesitate to come on my live and say, speak better English, please.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will have to move in US in some time. in the future, so I will train directly in the United States, so it will be better.
Yeah, so even if you're English, you can still keep joining Thorkell's stream and subscribe to him because that will improve his English skills. So that's really important.
Yes, if you speak to me in English in the chat, I will be forced to answer to you. So
excellent. All right,
but if you come on my stream, I will do on purpose French accent.
Nice, that's excellent.
Tonight I've made a little bit efforts, but on my stream I do not anyone.
Nice.
There's no effort at all. It's just French accent. I'm speaking like it. I don't do any effort.
You can always try though. All right, so about Sunday, will you be streaming again for CBrivalsFR Twitch for the semifinals?
For the moment, I don't move, so I will do the semi-final and the final with the same team with Ajax, Canap and Matchin. So if you want to come and say hi on the French stream, you get 2 POV. I don't know if you're doing right now on your stream for CBrivalsFR, but we get a little POV on the bottom left and a big one, and sometimes I'm swap because I'm doing all stuff, doing the POV swapping. Most of the time I'll let Matchin and Akanap doing the cast because I think 3 is the best number to be in the channel.
Exactly.
4 it's a lot, so sometimes I just let them talk, and because Matchin and Akanap are way better in the game to explain the plays. Because on French stream on CBrivalsFR, you can get Matchin, captain of Nobitchi's team, third on the feudal, so you can get way better explications than on the English one.
There's the big
and sometimes he says that it's difficult to watch the games. There is a lot of moments he say it was very hard on shock.
Yep, it was. All right, yeah, for CBrivalsFR English, you could see Heather, you could see Grease like last week, you could see Saki, you could see other guys joining as well. Yes. We also got all the interviews with the team captain, so both streams pretty amazing. You can join. Maybe you can just get both. I mean, you could get 3 different cameras perspectives. That's even better, right?
Point of view.
Yeah, I know you guys have been doing, and I know Arkanapa is always doing that, and Matchin also likes it. Always doing the map with like what could be the tactics, stuff like this. Really good stuff.
We talked before the stream. Last stream, he opens starts sketch for Turul Varos because it's a new map, and we talk a little bit about the meta.
Yeah.
So I share the sketch, and he explained what would be difficult. And he explained exactly what happened before the moment.
Yeah.
He said that ALB it's very hard to defend and all stuff we say. I just repeat what he said to me because I'm not Eden or other stuff. I'm not doing any tournament, so I don't want to say bad stuff.
Yeah, so and
I'm
that's
just saying the same thing as them.
Yeah, exactly. But and that's the thing that maybe sometimes people forget. Like you need someone to like be your entertainer, be a caster or a streamer to show what's going on and ask questions. Like ask questions to Matchin or Kanapa who actually know about the game more than we do. To say, all right, what's going on? What's happening here? Tell us why this is happening. And
yeah, sometimes when we get Kanapa and Matchin at the same time, they are talking about some strats. They use some words and say VG. When you say VG, I don't know because in French, VG is varying. It's vareg. In French, it's vareg. So I was.
So like, what the hell is that?
But sometimes I ask them the questions that I know because I know that if I were a viewer and I don't play a lot of the game, it's not possible to understand some
exactly, and that's the other thing. Sometimes if experts like Matchin and Arkanapa talk about the game, most people won't even understand what they're saying because it's too complicated. Maybe so.
Yes,
it's always good to have someone else in there as well. All right, we'll see more about it on Sunday. It's been a blast so far with the podcast, also with the playoffs. Looking forward to getting our top 2 teams at least for the finals in 2 weeks. So this Sunday, the 20th, will be the semifinals between Ali Mamermi and Chocolate Goblin and Gum Faction and Paleo Old School. The winners will go to the finals on the 27th of November, and the losers will go to the 3rd place final, and top 3 will make it to Feudal Division. That's what's on the line. So you can see both of us on Sunday. Thorkell, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
And let's go Game Faction. Alerias.
Oh, there we go. Got a favorite. All right. Thank you so much.
There is just because there are French people inside.
All right. Excellent. That's good.
I don't know any player of the other team. If you want me to support you, come on my stream and I will support you.
There you go.
I don't know you, so I can't.
Totally,
Even by-
totally
I
unbiased
have,
here. We're gonna stop you right here because you're
Yes.
still a bit unbiased right now, and we need to make sure that it's.
I'm stopping. I just say I
it's-
made
it's-
some
it's not
playoffs,
accelerating here.
but not the others.
Yeah, we'll
Bye. Thanks.
All right, see ya. Bye bye.